Well, good morning. This is the fastest I think I've ever come up with a title and a blurb since I've been doing it that way, way back in 2011. Anyway, the title I came up with is a question. What is my priority of changes for the world? And my blurb is really simple. Aristo got me to thinking when he mentioned a hierarchy of principles. I'd like to talk from my heart about what I think is most important. Now, before I even get into that, let me say that I fell asleep really early last night, like 8:30. And of course, I woke up before midnight and I was unable to fall back to sleep. I got up for a couple of hours and then laid down, and it was again difficult to fall asleep then, but I finally fell asleep and didn't wake up till 5:33. That was the third 33 that I saw since I went to bed last night. I mean, it seemed like every time that I woke up and looked at the clock, it was something 33, which is interesting. In any case, I quickly got up and contacted the ambassador because we were going to do a video this morning. But because of his scheduling and things that I need to get done, we decided to wait until tomorrow. So I quickly wrote a blurb and wrote the question. So that's just a little bit of prefacing as to as to what's been going on in preparation for this video. Very little forethought and a very short blurb. Anyway, for me, the most important thing of all, and the reason that I have looked at RUSA and looked at OPPT and Swissindo and the Dragon family, is I have looked for some kind of a structure, some kind of a power thing that will bring justice, especially in my situation of people trying to steal my house. So if I have an ulterior motive, that has been my ulterior motive. I want something to make the banks and the courts go away and stop aggressing on me when they have no legitimate claim to the home that I live in. They've never had a legitimate claim. There was never a mortgage taken out on this property. That alone should end it right there. Even my own banker said they cannot change collateral. When you take a loan, you cannot, certain collateral is put up. They cannot go back and change the collateral to something else. That's against the law. Even my banker, my bank manager, told me that. And there's been other things, and I'm not going to go into all the details, but there's been other things and other steps that I've taken to protect my home. Yet still, even this week, they are again coming after my home. And a lot of introspection was caused by that because the ambassador and I had written a letter to the CEO of PNC Bank, which I never got the return receipt come back, even though I paid for a return receipt. It never came back. It was sent to another part of PNC in Ohio, I believe, rather than in Pittsburgh, where their headquarters is, but I never got my return receipt back. And now we got notice that they're moving the court again to evict us or eject us from our home. That has been a significant issue for me. So for me, the very highest priority of the changes I want to see in the world is I want to see justice. I want to see common law, because they have avoided again and again every affidavit, including the one that I filed this year, in which I didn't use my name except in the title of the thing, and then I put double lines, so that's a whole different section. And I didn't sign my name. I used a thumbprint in red ink, and everything that I did, the new motion said that they don't recognize the format that I provided the information to them in, even though I had all sorts of exhibits and everything else that I sent with it. This is a major issue for me, and I'm not the only one that's having my home threatened, my life threatened, my freedom threatened. it happens all over the world every day because governments are simply out of control. And I would love nothing better than to find some way to neutralize the fraudulent admiralty maritime courts, return them to common law, and so that people have a chance to get justice based on the truth of matters, rather than some thing that's aligned to protect the system, to protect the matrix and keep the matrix operating as a control grid against the human population, the human slave trade. So at the top of my list of priority of changes, it's to change the courts and the system of law to one of common law worldwide that guarantees people's rights and guarantees that people will have a voice in any hearing that threatens them or their property, and that the threater should never be the state. Only in the private individuals can bring claims against other private individuals. In other words, shut down the corporate structure where there's no accountability. These are extremely high on my priority of principles, because if humans are not free to make decisions for themselves, and that they have something other, as long as they have something other than the do no harm and do not violate the free will of another, where those are the only lawful issues. There are no other lawful issues as I see it. No other lawful issues. Only those two. Only those two. And harm also means to cause loss. They have committed, the state has committed, the banks have committed, the corporations have committed. They have committed crimes against humanity for a very long time. And until that is changed, I don't see anything else bringing a significant boon to humanity. So that is justice, as Aristo rightly pointed out, justice based on truth with mercy. They are at the top of my priority list in my hierarchy of priorities, because those things are the most critical things in all the world. If those two things were addressed, we wouldn't need to worry so much about money, honestly, because it's because of the justice system that we have in this world, which of course is an injustice system, that priority is so high, because our money situation is linked to the fraud and the corruption, because money has been misused. I don't see money as the issue, though. It's not give everybody money. No, it's take care of where the corruption comes from. And so I would use money to hire the necessary forces that are necessary to arrest the individuals that need to be arrested and need to stand trial in public tribunals, where they have to answer for the crimes they've committed against humanity. The people at the very highest levels. That is my highest priority. However that is done, if it's done, I'd like to see it done by the Dragon family. I'd like to see them finance this police force, if you will, Interpol or whatever, put it on their payroll and say, these are your marching orders. Arrest the Pope. Arrest the people that have been in power and making these decisions. Arrest the bankers that have been in high places making these decisions. Find out who the Bilderbergers are. Find out who the Council on Foreign Relations is. Who are these people that are standing in the way of the progress of human evolution and the progress of turning the earth around to something that is sustainable, to something that is answerable to a higher principle, the principle of the guarantee of human rights for every man, woman, and child on the planet. This is my essential desire. This is my highest priority for the world, the highest priority for myself, because I'm tired. I'm tired for the whole human race of having to struggle just to survive in a world that is set against the truth. That's what it is. It's against the truth. And as I've said so many times on earth, until we can establish justice based on truth and based on common law, we'll never achieve peace. It's not about the money. The money is a very low priority for me. Titles and hierarchical things are very low priority for me. You can use money as an end, but the end is the liberation of humanity through the redemption of our rights, redeeming our rights and holding them sacred in the entire world. No country, no place on earth should be allowed to exist under admiralty maritime law. None. Common law is the highest of all priorities for me. And I have not cared whether Rusa got it done, whether the OPPT actions were accomplished and got it done, whether Swiss Indo did it, whether the Dragon family does it. I don't care who does it. But that is the single most important thing to me, because I don't see anything changing until that changes. And you say, Ron, what about man's heart? What about what's inside of us? Yes, I've done a lot of introspection. I've done a lot of introspection over the way that I handled the thing with the reimbursement issue, a lot of introspection over why I do what I do. And Aristo helped me put that into perspective yesterday after we did the video that he and I made together, and we talked for probably a half an hour or something like that before we did the video, and maybe 10 more minutes after we did the video. So I had a long conversation with Aristo, over an hour, and it really helped me a great deal. And I also had a conversation with the ambassador, although there's still some things that we need to work out. But there's certain things that I do not feel right to say about things in the situation that my intention is not to embarrass anybody. My intention is not to make anybody look bad. And I want you to know that. But there's certain things that I need to have answered for myself. But I recognize that there's still inner work that I have to do. There's still things that I still have to deal with, my own fear demon, if you want to call it that, of feeling unsafe living in this world, feeling unsafe because of police, feeling unsafe because of the courts and because of the government, because of the crazy people that are psychopathic and do not abide by the golden rule. Not the real golden rule, do unto others as you would have others do unto you. Not that golden rule. They have the one who has the most gold makes the rules. That golden rule needs to be brought to an end. It is a crime against humanity when that is the priority, when that is the whole thing. I believe that profit needs to be eliminated. Capitalism needs to be totally eliminated. And that doesn't mean that I'm a socialist or a communist, although we are a common family. We are the human family, and we're in this together, and we need to find a solution that meets everybody's need, and that everybody is guaranteed a certain standard of living. Everybody is guaranteed that they will have a roof over their head, that they will have clean food and clean water and clean air. So yeah, there's other priorities and stuff in there. Stop polluting the earth with chemicals and with other things that go into the aquifers and into the water supply. Stop polluting the groundwater, the ponds, the lakes, the rivers, the ocean itself. Stop polluting the air with chemtrails and stuff like that. Stop polluting our food. Stop polluting our medicine. These are things that need to be addressed because they are priorities. We should have a human right to safe food, safe water, safe air to breathe, a safe home to live in, a safe community in which to live. And you say, Ron, you're a dreamer, you're an idealist, you're a perfectionist, you're a, what do you call it? Somebody that looks for uh, utopia. You're a utopian. Yeah, I want to see a world that works for everybody because love, that's a system of love. And love produces an environment that allows growth. The current environment thwarts growth and makes growth difficult. It makes dealing with our demons extremely difficult because the demon keeps coming back and shouting at us and making us afraid because all we hear are voices that are purposefully trying to create fear. So I need to find a place inside of myself. I listened to some of the video with Heather Tucci Giraffe and others. With the one with the guy from the world, the actor, what's his name? I don't remember, but you know who I mean. I'm sure people will fill in the blank. But then the later video with Heather and and the others, the new with yeah. I'm so bad with names, especially when I'm in the place like this where I'm before a live microphone. But they were talking about we've got to feel it inside. Well, I don't feel safe inside of myself. I don't feel safe in this world. That's why I look to align myself with people that I think have authority and think have power to uh, to say something, and the psychopaths are all of a sudden going to listen and stop aggressing or stop causing harm and threats to myself, and not to myself only, but to everybody. That system, that matrix needs to be brought down. So the first thing and the most important thing, as I said, is the change in the system of law that we have on the earth. We need to put our priority into fixing that based on truth and justice with mercy, based on reality of the golden rule that we don't want to be aggressed upon and harmed by anyone else, and we don't want our free will violated. Until that issue is addressed and funded, nothing else will matter. There's other things that are important that need to be done, but that is the top priority for me. And it will remain the top priority as long as I feel unsafe. And I will feel unsafe even when I'm taken care of if there are other people still having their rights abused by the system itself. That is where I come from. I will continue to come from there. I will continue to make that the most important thing because it is, to me, the most important thing in the measure of establishing the kingdom of heaven on earth and a world that works for everybody. Yes, thank you for listening, and namaste.